But the frustration this season is not only brewing with LeBron, but with his teammates. We've seen Christian Wood not being happy about his role, especially with Hayes being announced as a starter over him when AD was out, and also D'Angelo Russell not fully understanding the role that the Lakers want him to play in, which is being more of a spot-up shooter. And D'Angelo Russell actually spoke on this.
I get into my flow state in the pick and roll when it comes to the game. So if I can tap into pick and rolls and recognize how they guard me, it allows me to control the game because I can get to what I know is working or might not work. It's like playing the game within the game, but I'm in my space. I ain't just catching and shooting. I'm in y'all space. If I miss, y'all took me out the game. Y'all just took me out the game. If I'm missing, if that's all I'm doing is catching and shooting. But if I'm getting to do what I know I can do, which honestly, I feel like that's when I'm at my best, when I just have a roller and a shooter. Somehow, some way around me, just a roller and a shooter. You put whatever else in the other two spots.
See, what D'Angelo Russell doesn't understand right there is that LeBron James is going to be the person that he wants to be in that position. He's going to need a roller and a shooter. And you're supposed to be the shooter. AD's possibly the roller or just other guys on the team, but you're always going to be the spot-up shooter. And this has been a long time thing going with LeBron James ever since he's been in Miami. He's always needed shooters around him. That's how Pat Riley was able to build that team. But just like in Miami or whether he was in Cleveland, the last few days with LeBron James being on your team, you start to see teammates not only check out, but LeBron sends subliminals and he begins to carve this path that separates him from his teammates. And it leads to him going through the exit door. So Jeannie Buss is definitely going to have to take control of her franchise back because LeBron James at this point in his career is not really leading you to a championship. And AD has been proven that he's not that guy that's willing to put everything on his back and be that 1A and make LeBron James, because of his age, be that 1B guy. AD can't do that from night in, night out. He can do that only in spurts. But once again, LeBron James is not larger than the Lakers logo. And the Lakers are a franchise who can actually look at LeBron James and say, as great as you are, we've had actually a few players that we can make a sensible argument that have been better than you. And there's very few franchises in the NBA that can actually say that. Once again, LeBron James is not larger than the Lakers logo. The end is never pretty, and we're starting to see things fall through the cracks, aka players being disgruntled, LeBron James sending subliminal messages. All these things don't really reflect the Laker culture. But bringing this back to on the court issues, LeBron James is growing frustrated with Rob Pelinka and the Lakers front office are not making moves fast enough, even though he did make the request of getting Russell Westbrook just to have that situation backfire on his ass. But as of this moment right now, he's growing frustrated and it's a little bit beyond this tweet and it's starting to spill over in his interviews.
Like you said, you guys went 4-2 on this trip. The next time you guys will play will be after the trade deadline. Do you feel like, as a team, you guys have proven or shown why you guys should continue to, invest in this current group? Yeah.
This is what we have, so there's nothing else to talk about.
Once again, just beyond the hourglass tweet, LeBron James against the Knicks in a nationally televised game. In the post-game interviews, he knew what he was doing. He threw on a Knicks towel. He's not necessarily saying he's going to join the Knicks, but he's sending shots to the Laker front office that this whole Lakers experience could be nearing its end. And speaking of this whole Laker experience, we have to put LeBron James joining them into proper perspective, because majority of the seasons outside of the championship season have pretty much been a failure. From the 2018-2019 season, LeBron James and the Lakers won 37 games and lost 45. And the following season, that was a championship season, they won 52 and lost 19 games. And it's pretty much been at 500 beyond that. As in 2020 to 2021, they won 42 games and lost 30. Then they won 33 games and lost 49. And last season, they won 43 games and lost 39, which was a season of illusions because they entered into the playoffs as a play-in team. Even though they got the victory and continued on as a 7th seed, their competition going forward was very weak. They went up against the Memphis Grizzlies, who weren't really as focused due to the incidents of Ja Morant and his off-the-court issues. Then they faced the Golden State Warriors, who in reality, because of Andrew Wiggins being out for most of that season, was a shell of themselves. And the Lakers were able to exploit not only their size, them having a really lack of athleticism as they won that series 4-2. Then they ran into the real competition, which is the Denver Nuggets. And this is a series where people don't really talk about. You really see where the Lakers really fell in the hierarchy of just going up against competitive teams, as they were fully swept. That's why I said the last season for the Lakers was pretty much a season of illusions. They had some of the weakest competition going into that Western Conference Finals, even though coming into the playoffs as a team that had to participate in the play-in.